have strong immune systems, and they come down with cancer. It's the same thing with this Ebola situation, except it's tougher. It's tougher to fight off. And, it just shows me once again the incompetence. How could they, on one hand, say it's not possible, and then weeks later they come out and say, well, maybe it is?
Well, we eat GMO corn like BT that is in major studies on record to kill the honeybees that eat it, and it's linked to kids having, these leaky guts. And then we wonder why our immune systems are shutting down. It's because they're bombarded. They're overwhelmed. We are in this toxic environment. I want to expand, George, before we get into some other topics in the time we have left with you, to talk about BeyondBelief.com and your hit TV show that I'm finally going to be able to come out to Denver and tape soon, hopefully. I want to talk about that show because it's getting really popular. I saw the numbers on it. And I want to talk also about some of these big events you're putting on that you've invited me to physically attend next year, but attend via Skype coming up. I really look forward to those. Tell people about your events.
Well, in terms of the events, we've got a lot coming up. You can always track where I'm going to be by going to coasttocoastam.com, and at the bottom of the page, it says calendar. You click that, and it shows where I'm going to be. But on November 8th in Toronto, Alex, and you're going to join us via Skype, and you've got a huge Toronto following, by the way. I'm going to be up there with a woman who used to date Lee Harvey Oswald. She's
Wow.
going to be one of my guests. You're going to be there on Skype. Giorgio Tsoukalos from Ancient Aliens will be there. Peter Davenport, who heads up the National UFO Reporting Center. And then rock historian R. Gary Patterson is joining me. He's going to talk about why so many great rock musicians died at the age of 27. And in addition, I do kind of sing on the side. So we've got a full group there that's going to play while I sing 4 songs throughout the night. And full information on that is at GeorgeNoryLive.com. If you live in the Toronto, Buffalo area, or if you just want a trip to Toronto, come on out and see me November 8th.
And by the way, I've seen you via internet getting to stay on Skype the whole time and watch it. And I've been to William Shatner's variety show, and yours is 1,000 times better. Even though his was okay, it was cool to see William Shatner. The variety show you do, you're bringing up serious topics, interesting things. You're a pretty good singer, George. I really look forward to next year when I'm going to physically come to some of your events. Very, very exciting. Again, give folks that website one more time, because I know it sells out every single time, no matter where you go. So the venues get bigger and bigger. Give folks the website one more time so they can go get tickets.
That's GeorgeNoryLive.com, and of course it's Noory, GeorgeNoryLive.com, for our November 8th event in Toronto. And maybe next year, Alex, while I sing, I'll have you dance with somebody in the crowd.
Well, with my torn Achilles, I'm not a very good dancer. The secret is I'm not a good dancer unless I've had a bottle of wine. But then
Did you ever hear Shatner talk about his play, his one-person play that he was in? And he said he's on stage, and all of a sudden he gets hit with the worst stomach ache of his life. He had to excuse himself. Keep in mind, he's on stage. He's the only person. He had to excuse himself, go to the restroom, where he was there for about 15 minutes, and then he came back. Sure.
It's a dinner theater. In fact, those are some of the great stories when he was here last year, and I went and saw him, that he told, and it was very interesting. Boy, that's a guy that's got a lot of energy. In fact, I don't want to say yours is 1,000 times better, because his was pretty good. I'm just saying it was much, much better watching it on Skype than seeing Shatner in person, which I liked. So that's what I'm saying. It really is a good show, folks. So check that out. Now, George, we've only got one more segment left, and you always let me come on your show, and you've got a few questions, but you let me kind of go in any direction I want. What are you most happy about in the world right now, and what are you most concerned about in the world right now?
I'm concerned primarily about, again, the complete lack of understanding and respect for human beings.
Yes.
By government. They just don't seem to care. What I'm happy about is that people are onto them and that we understand them. And by doing so, we're going to continue to fight back. Not necessarily, and I do not advocate violence by any means, but we're going to fight back at the election booth. We're going to fight back on talk shows. We're going to fight back in any way we can to keep them from trying to win. And I think, again, in the long run, we're going to win.
Well, that's right. Dinosaur media is dying everywhere because it just can't get its mind around ever questioning or being critical. And I just can't imagine what the system's going to do, because pride goes before a fall. Every indicator shows that the establishment is in deep trouble. And it just shows so much arrogance. I think it may be a confidence game, and they're not actually as arrogant as they act. But George, I think you're right, though, in the final equation. Respect for human life, respect for each other, believing in humanity, believing in our greater angels, believing we can do better things. That's what builds civilization in the future. But this globalist eugenicist view of we're all crud and humans are a disease and all this, that's what's going to bring in a total nightmare. Final segment straight ahead with George Noory. We'll talk more about some of the things happening in the election. His prediction, will the Republicans take the House? Well, they already have the House, more seats in the House. Will they take the Senate, which the Democrats have right now, and more? His site, coasttocoastam.com. I'm Alex Jones with Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.tv.
Are you happy doing your laundry with perfume detergents that irritate your skin? Are you happy washing your hands with stinking fragrances that gives your skin rashes? Are you happy paying new, higher prices for smaller boxes? Find your happiness today with our 1 to 4 year supply of pure soaps, or our 1 to 2 month sampler with bar soap, shampoo, laundry, and dish soap at 5starsoap.com. You deserve the best. Happiness is 5starsoap.com.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
The experts are clear. Sunlight, purified water, healthy non-GMO food, and having a good attitude is essential to a healthy immune system. But I go further with Super Nascent Iodine X2 from InfoWarsLife.com. 50% stronger than our original and revolutionary Nascent Iodine formula, coming from a deep earth crystal source that no other supplier has. Most other forms of iodine come from seaweed in areas plagued by Fukushima and other contaminants. Not our iodine. It comes from over 200 million year old crystal salt deposits and is tested and proven to be completely pure. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today. See the informational videos. Read the information they're compiled. And for a limited time, when you use promo code NOW at checkout, you get an additional 5% off the entire family of InfoWarsLife.com products. Secure your Survival Shield X2 today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
The lining of your lungs is supposed to be protected with glutathione to neutralize incoming irritants. In the absence of enough glutathione, your lungs are more prone to irritation. Listen to the real-world results of one man using a powerful glutathione-supporting food.
Hi, my name is Bill O'Brien. I generally suffer through an asthmatic breathing type situation. My breathing is shallow and generally constricted in the nose and lungs. After consuming One World Whey today, I have tremendous energy, and also notice my breathing is free. I can feel the air in my left nostril, and it is free all the way to my abdomen, which is pretty remarkable because I rarely get that feeling. Being a singer, I love feeling this unrestricted voice. The only thing new I've actually added to my routine is One World Whey. Wow.
Call 888-988-3325. That's 888-988-3325. Or visit oneworldwhey.com. That's oneworld, WHEY.com.
Some folks are born.
Some folks are born made to wait to fly.
Mike at Grown Folks TV 1 tweeted at Real Alex Jones. Wanted to ask George Noory, do you foresee DHS coming to our homes and forcing vaccines on us anytime soon? What's your take on that, George Noory?
Anytime soon, no. Possible? Absolutely. They've set us up for this, to be able to come to us and have mandatory vaccines and push us to do Let's get back to Revelation for a moment, Alex. Revelation, the sign of the beast, 666. What is it? It's a mark to buy and use, and do, have services. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to get chipped. I'm not going to have a mark put on me. And they will try to do that to us one day. But fight it. Fight it as long as you
they're going
can.
to do it through identity theft. The globalists are going to release everybody's biometric data and force us on the biometrics because they release all the credit card data and all the passwords. Then it'll be biometric, then that'll get hacked. And they'll say, look, you got to have it in your body.
Yep, and then they'll get all your medical records. They'll get everything they need on you. And you know what? It's not going to happen.
George, you ought to come on again just on your view on the future of the mark of the beast. That'd be an amazing interview. We could do a roundtable on yours.
Sure.
What does George think? Texan American Citizen on Twitter asks, what does George think about the recent deathbed confession of Lockheed Martin engineer Boyd Bushman? I don't know what they're talking about. Maybe you know.
That was an Area 51 expert who claims that indeed there are extraterrestrials at Area 51 and that he knows that. It's an amazing story. I haven't been able to authenticate it yet. A lot of times somebody can make up something, and I don't even know if Bushman was a real person from Lockheed. But if he was, it's an incredible story of another admission of what's been going on at Area 51.
A Rixo man on Twitter asks, what does George think about aliens and UFOs being a psyop on the people by the New World Order?
No, I believe in extraterrestrials. This universe is way too vast to think we're by ourselves. I do believe they've come here and seeded us, but I don't think there's a thing going on with the New World Order with that.
Last question. Mama Liberty 1776 on Twitter asks, do you agree nowhere else to go that the U.S., we must take a stand against current corruption and false authority? Is there nowhere else to run?
There is no place to run, so we stay right here and we fix it and we make sure that it happens.
Well, George, in the last minute and a half we have left, I want to encourage people to go to your TV show. I guess you can sign up and get 10 days free right now and see a lot of the back shows. They're excellent at BeyondBelief.com and support the new media, BeyondBelief.com, and just click on the George Noory link right there. In the final equation, what do you think is going to happen in the next few years? Do you think Obama and the globalists are going to run wild when he's a lame duck and can pardon himself?
No, I don't think they're going to run wild. Some people have predicted that there's not going to be an election in 2016, that there's going to be some catastrophe where they decide that we can't have an election right now. I'm not going to say no to that. That's a possibility. Was it planned? I don't think so, but it is possible. I think it's unfortunate that these people we elect who start off well-intentioned. There's no question about it in my mind. I think all of them have had these ideals of trying to make this a better country and a better planet. And then something happens to them. They get tainted, they get approached, they get changed, and they begin to realize, oh my gosh, I got to play this game with these elitists. And that's what's happening. I think Barack Obama came into this election backed by people who...
I'll tell you what, George, do 5 minutes overdrive with us. Come back and finish this point. We're back in 60 seconds.
Okay.
Infowars.com/show
Visit
to get the free feeds. This is Overdrive. After consulting top doctors, nutritionists, pharmacists, and others, we have developed what I believe is the ultimate non-GMO organic Super Male Vitality formula. Super Male Vitality by InfoWars Life is so powerful that I only take half the recommended dose.
I jump out of bed ready to fight these criminals every day. I look forward to waking up and taking my Super Male Vitality.
Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality and other powerful products from InfoWars Life.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put 2 and 2 together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds. Is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled INFIDEL bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor just won't quit.